Hi everyone, I have the SPD Power Rangers here. Now this particular line of SPD figures were known as the SPD Light Patrol figures. They were called Light Patrol because by a push of their button, which was basically their belt buckle, if you pressed it, the side of their helmet lit up. This feature worked great for Rangers which had like a darker color, like this Blue Ranger or the Red Ranger. But this feature worked poorly if it was a Yellow Ranger, Pink Ranger, or any Ranger that had a really light color, because their whole helmet would light up and it really didn't look that appealing. Let me just show you what I mean. See, as you can see, her whole helmet lights up. They could have easily done something, given the helmet a thicker layer of coating so that the helmet didn't light up as well. It would just be the side. But what are you gonna do? So let me get started here. And as you can notice, these are the first Power Rangers team to actually have a visor that actually stretched up to the top of their helmet. Usually if you've seen other Power Rangers, their visors usually don't stretch out that far. So for this series, when it first started out, it wasn't really a fan favorite for most because it opened up like a new design and a lot of people weren't used to it. And also, they are identified by large numbers, like red is 1, blue is 2, yellow is 4, green is 3, and pink is 5. And that's quite unique. It's not something I would say I really like, and it's not something I dislike. It's alright for me. So let's get started here. Here's the Red Ranger, and this is his Light Patrol feature. And basically these figures came with extra weapons that weren't in the show, and they were like armor pieces that could attach onto the figures. The Red Ranger came with these special attachments that go onto his feet, or leg I mean, and it had a blade that could fold out and that can also fold in again, and he came with two sections. And this basically fitted onto his leg, each of their legs. I apologize for that. So I had like a hole here that it could attach onto it. As you can see, there's a hole right there, and there's a little peg at the bottom, at the inside of the attachment here. Let me show you. So let me just attach this on the Red Ranger figure and show you how it's supposed to look. This is what it looks like. Nothing too fancy, it's alright. And you can also use it as an actual weapon too. Let me show you. This is what he looks like holding his weapon. And that's the Red Ranger. And the Red Ranger came with the gun seen in the show. This is what it looks like, and it can also fit onto his holster snug, or he can also hold it. That's the Red Ranger there. And next I'll show you the Yellow Ranger. Here's the Light Patrol feature of the Yellow Ranger. As you can see, her whole helmet lights up too if you press the button. That's one thing I didn't like about them. The Yellow Ranger came with these feet or leg attachments. It fits onto the lower section of their foot. And let me just show you. This is what it looks like. And Yellow Ranger came with the gun seen in the show. This is what it looks like. Let me just put it on the Yellow Ranger to show you. For these figures, they had given some room on the index finger, between the index finger and the middle finger, to make it look as if they're actually holding their weapon. So this is what the Yellow Ranger looks like. Next I'll show you the Green Ranger. The Green Ranger came with this arm attachment. So this is what it looks like. And let me just show you. You can either go on his left or right hand. That's what it looks like. Looks like he has a cyber arm, or whatever you want to call it. And his weapon, and he came with the weapon on his show too. That's what it looks like. And also fit on their holsters as usual. They can even hold it. Here's the Green Ranger's Light Patrol. The quality of this webcam isn't that great. I apologize for that. But I'll try my best to show you as much as possible. So here's the Pink Ranger. Again, because her color is light, she's one of the Rangers where the whole helmet lights up. It's not that great. The Pink Ranger came with this vest that looks like this. You can just press it on to the figure, and it attaches on like so. There's also another compartment which looks like this, and you can attach it onto the vest, and it looks like so. It's like she has a huge weapon. Now, the Pink Ranger came with the same weapon as the Yellow Ranger, and also came with this really odd looking weapon. It looks like a stick. I never figured out, even now, what it does. It looks like it's an attachment or a support of a weapon, but I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to do. So that was the Pink Ranger there. Next I'll show you the Blue Ranger. Again, this armor sometimes, if it's a female figure, it's a bit too much stress on the figure, and it tends to tip over. So here's the Blue Ranger. The Blue Ranger came with a similar arm attachment like the Green Ranger, which looks like this. Again, you can either put it onto their left or right hand. Let me just show you what it looks like. And the Blue Ranger came with his guns seen in the show. And as I mentioned before, it can either go into their holster or they can hold it. Let me try and show you all the armor inserted on one of the Ranger figures. You basically get the idea. Let me just show you the Blue Ranger. That's what it looks. It looks like this whole big battleizer. And you put the Red Ranger's like attachments on his thigh regions, and there you have the full armor set up. So those other SPD Power Rangers there. I've been doing some hunting on eBay. So I was looking for the female figures. The females, it just doesn't cost too much. I saw some auctions for the females being sold for like $19 and $15. But there are the one out of the 10 sellers that do sell them for like $40. And it was just was either the Yellow or the Pink Ranger that was being sold for that price, by the way, and they were still in their packaging, not loose. So I consider that a great deal. I have actually seen them all together, still in their packaging, all 6 or 7 of them. That means with Shadow and Omega, and they've gone over like $150 because the Omega Ranger was very rare, and same with the SPD females. Unlike Mystic Force and Operation Overdrive, the SPD females, at least in Canada, I only saw them the first month and I never saw them again. So the SPD females are quite rare. But on eBay, they're quite frequent, so you don't need to worry about that. As for cost for a loose figure, you can easily get a loose figure for like $9.99. It wouldn't really cost too much. And loose figure without weapon, same deal. It would cost you the same. About $9.99. So these are the SPD figures here. Keep a lookout for my next review, which are on the Omega and Shadow Ranger.